Chapter 65. My death should be of a certain quality. His gaze shifted as he deduced the situation. This array formation not only has a maze, but also a trapping array. I can't even walk out. It's at least a level to comprehensive array formation. In that case, the array disk that contains the array formation taboo powers must be a mid to high-grade Dharma treasure. With his level of Chi refinement realm cultivation, he can't activate it by himself at all. He can only rely on spirit stones. Now, when the array formation power is exhausted, not only will I be able to kill them, but I will also obtain a precious Dharma treasure. Haiduzi used his prior experience to deduce all sorts of possible scenarios. He was instantly confident and smiled sinisterly. These special Dharma treasures are much more valuable than the 100 ghost Gonfalon. He felt that he had encountered a walking treasure. He immediately raised his hand and activated an alms bowl-shaped Dharma artifacts. They emitted a faint light to protect his body as he quietly waited for the outcome. Sanshi had killed more than 100 normal goo corpses in the process of dying 10 times. Why was there only one high-grade goo corpse? This guy is way too poor. He was very dissatisfied. He cancelled a portion of the array formation sound isolation function and deliberately let Haiduzi hear his hymn. Hey, are there any more iron-skinned goo corpses? These low-grade ones aren't enough for me to play with. You ignorant thing. It's extremely hard to even be able to raise one iron-skinned goo corpse from 100 of the normal goo corpses. Do you think it's like growing cabbages? It's impossible to grow so many. Haiduzi felt extremely insulted and looked at Songshi with disdain. In reality, however, all of his other iron-skinned goo corpses had already been destroyed in the previous battle with the Demon Slayers division. Of course, he would never reveal this to Songshi. He sneered, "You should try staying alive under my one iron-skinned goo corpse first." He was also surprised. It had been so long, but his army still hadn't killed this guy. This array formation probably had a defense function. It was even more powerful than he had imagined. The surrounding voices disappeared again. Sanshi pursed his lips. We can only catch this guy and take advantage of him. He killed the last few normal goo corpses in a few moves and stood in front of the iron-skinned goo corpse. He did not defend himself at all and let the other party kill him however it wanted. After dying for 10 times, Sanshi could start farming accumulated rewards. He decided to do so as he wanted to see what his next physique attribute would be. In the process of dying multiple times, because his physique was still too strong, his blood had the effect of resisting evil entities. The iron-skinned goo corpse's nails were severely worn and corroded by the power in his blood, to the point of its bones being revealed. Brother, can you change to your other hand to fight me? Sanshi pursed his lips. He felt that the iron-skinned goo corpse's claws were no longer very sharp anymore. They could not even kill him nimbly now. The latter was actually just a corpse controlled by a kind of parasitic bud. How could it comprehend Sanshi's words? It continued to pierce his heart with its worn-to-the-bone, dull claws. Crack, after a few more times, its claw broke off. Only then did the iron-skinned goo corpse change to its other hand. Immediately, Sanshi's process of dying became much smoother. For the next few rounds, he was able to die much more painlessly. Under the power of its new claws, Sanshi quickly died more than 10 times. Ding! You have been killed 50 times by physical attacks. Invincible Vajra and innate divine strength talent have fused. You have upgraded to a low-grade diamond treasure body and awakened a low-grade gold spirit root. Your physique has increased by 50 points. Your strength and the strength of your flesh and bones have doubled. Amidst the notification, Sanshi's physique changed. His skin started to emit a sparkling treasure light, as if a peerless treasure weapon had appeared. The iron-skinned goo corpse behind him growled uneasily at this change but continued to attack with its relatively intact claws. Crack! Sanshi only felt a slight pain on chest from the claws. The other party's claws were so broken that it could no longer break through his defense. FCK, is this your limit already? Sanshi was dissatisfied. He pulled the iron-skinned goo corpse towards him and stretched out his neck. Come, your teeth are stronger than your claws. It's softer here, bite me quickly. Roar. With a low growl, the foul-smelling mouth successfully bit off Sanshi's neck. Puff! Blood splattered on the iron-skinned goo corpse's face. The masculine power contained in the crimson liquid corroded its ugly face, until it was full of holes, causing it to scream in pain. Ding, you have been bitten to death by the goo corpse. As you have died 10 times under the same target, the basic reward will be stopped. The accumulated rewards will continue to be counted. You will be resurrected in 3 seconds. No resurrection location set, resurrection on the spot by default. Fortunately, Sanshi revived in 3 seconds. Other than the fact that his body maintained his vitality for a few seconds before he resurrected. His blood disappeared as soon as he died, preventing the iron-skinned goo corpse from suffering further damage needlessly. After Sanshi was revived, he said in satisfaction, "Not bad. No wonder it is said that teeth are indeed the hardest thing in the human body. Otherwise, it would have been impossible for you to kill me with other ways. The only bad thing about dying this way is that your mouth stinks." He pinched his nose and sent his neck over again, muttering, "I spoke too early when I said that courting death was easy. This method is really too stinky for me to bear." After being bitten to death again, Sanshi really could not stand the other party's bad breath any longer. He thought for a moment, then raised his hand to slap the iron-skinned goo corpse. The rich glow coursed through his arm. He didn't need to tap into any true energy to channel his power. He relied solely on his raw, unbridled strength to smack it down to the ground. The Sanshi grabbed its neck and used a powerful force to suppress it, pressing it to the ground. He then took out a pile of things from his storage bag. Prying open the corpse's mouth, he took a brush, dipped it in some salt and water, and started to brush the iron-skinned goo corpse's teeth personally. If Haiduzi saw this scene, he would definitely be dumbfounded. Who would brush this disgusting thing's teeth? That person would surely be some sort of lunatic. Fortunately, Tong, who placed his daily necessities in his storage bag. "I have him to thank for the equipment that came in handy," Sanshi muttered. Tong's storage bag not only contained water and salt, but also some seasonings for cooking. Judging from these things, he probably lived in the wild and foraged for his meals. It seemed that he probably had a habit of making roasted meat with these seasonings. Sanshi made full use of these tools and personally brushed goo corpse's teeth. It was something he had to do. The corpse's mouth was really too smelly. It was so smelly that he wanted to vomit before he could even die. Every time he was bitten to death, he felt as if he was being stunk to death by the rancid smell instead. "I should not allow myself to die in such an undignified manner. There has to be a certain quality to my demise. It can't be from something that is dirty and smelly." Sanshi chuckled, whoosh whoosh swoosh. After washing all the dirty things out, the iron-skinned corpse's teeth actually turned from black to copper-colored metal-like material. That the level of this material was clearly a level higher than ordinary metal. What a good set of teeth. No wonder it could bite me to death so easily. These teeth should be able to kill me many times. Sanshi was very impressed. A few minutes later, after Sanshi polished its teeth, he sent his neck over again. Amid sounds of crunching, Sanshi died peacefully. This time, the rancid stench has finally disappeared. There was even a little fragrance coming from the goo corpse's mouth. Under the extremely strong teeth of the iron-skinned goo corpse, Sanshi continued to accumulate his number of deaths. Ding! You have been killed more than 70 times by physical attacks. Your physique has been upgraded to a medium-grade diamond treasured body. You have awakened a medium-grade gold spirit root. Your physique has increased by 70 points. Your strength and the strength of your flesh and bones have doubled. After his physique increased again, the destructive power of the iron-skinned goo corpse's teeth decreased greatly in comparison. Although it could still bite him to death, it had become more difficult to do so. After accumulating 90 deaths, Sanshi's diamond treasure body was upgraded to high grade, and his gold spirit root was also upgraded, causing the iron-skinned goo corpse to have to bite him a few times before it could bite him to death. This caused the pain Sanshi felt to increase greatly. After enduring it for 100 times, his entire body shone brightly. Both his diamond treasure body and gold spirit root had transformed into the top grade, and his physique had increased by 100 points. With a bang, the iron-skinned goo corpse's teeth shattered. "Sigh, you're useless to me now. Time for you to go to hell." Sanshi countered the iron-skinned goo corpse with an iron sand palm. With a sudden burst of energy, his palm struck the iron-skinned goo corpse with a thunderous impact, causing the air to ripple and distort. And then, there was a deafening explosion as the corpse was torn apart by his immense strength. Flames erupted from the shattered remains, fueled by Rayong forces. Ding, congratulations on killing the target of death. You are rewarded with one chance to draw the lottery. As the system notification sounded, he caught a glimpse of something in the broken flesh and walked over to take a look. It was the goo, a black bug, which had already died.